Good morning, everyone. It's Angie from Paradigm. I am here at Dr. Ruth Diaz's house, her beautiful office, so thank you for having me. There's a little story behind this meeting because we kind of coordinated this very last minute, and I'll tell you why in a little bit. But I definitely wanted you to just hear from Dr. Diaz and really just understand about this amazing what she does. So I'm gonna shut up and let's get going. So your practice is .0 healing.
That's correct.
Tell us a little bit about your background. So
All right. So my background is I've been in Western medicine since 1986, and I have been working with medical offices. And my last job was at Orlando Regional, which I loved, for 10 years working in surgery trauma.
oh,
So it's 20 years, and I still have like the medical assistant, surgical assistant, surgical tech, all these credentials are still, so I can have still communication with my Western medicine and my peace. Yeah.
okay, so before we dive into acupuncture, which is what you practice today, tell us a little bit about .0 healing. That name really kind of gets you thinking. So why .0 healing?
It's very interesting. So what do you think when I ask you about .0? Where do you go? Where does your mind go? Or what is your first response?
I would think kind of like the beginning of the beginning.
That's right. So I believe in treating from the root, because yes, I can alleviate your pain, I can alleviate your acute diseases or symptoms, but the healing, which is .0 healing, is going to the root. Like, what is causing your headache? What is causing your hypertension? What's causing you to be diabetic? It's not about just, let's balance your insulin, your sugar, and what is it? What's unbalanced in your system? So .0 healing, I asked how we connected with our higher self, because it's going in, this medicine is very spiritual. It's about knowing who you are and understanding where we come from, because we are earth, we are nature, right? So I was asking for the name, and I asked to be revealed in my dream, and it did. I saw a 0 and then a point. It's like, because I wanted to do something with that heals from the roots. So it was like, oh my God, I got it.
Yeah.
I got the name.
Crystal clear.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what I want people to think .0 healing is like they're healed all the way from 0, or from 0 will start. It can be either or.
So let's talk about acupuncture, because as of Friday, it was it was something that I'll admit, it was very foreign to me, and just because it's not, you don't really tend to go outside of your comfort zone, right? At least for me, that was, so sometimes you come into situations where you're like, okay, you know what, I should maybe think or look into it. So it was brand new to me, but what is acupuncture?
Okay, so acupuncture, we all know it's treating with the needles, but it's not just that. The science of Oriental medicine, acupuncture, is our vital energy. So, like I mentioned before, when we are born, we're balanced. We are 100% of what we are, right? So our environment, and our mental conversations, our experiences in life, there's so many things that can influence in our health. And so what acupuncture does is, when you insert the needle, it makes your brain release endorphins for pain. It releases, your brain tells your body, listen, there's an intruder, let's go over here and find out what's going on. So it sends soldiers, so it sends all the immune system, the blood cells, all the chemicals that your body is going to defend your body. And the area where it's invaded, which is where the needle is, by doing that, it's like a river. So when you put water, you make it flow. So just the movement itself it unblocks a lot of the areas.
Wow.
And we have more than 1,000 points in our system that it can be treated for different things. And so depending on the point where we put it, then the brain on top of what it does normally, it also heals that way. So acupuncture and oriental medicine is about, we don't have, our diagnosis is not like Western where it's virus or bacteria, or it is from heat, from cold, from damp, phlegm, from nature. So let's say you have a bacterial, a sore throat. So you have tonsillitis, Western tonsillitis. What we do is we check your tongue and your pulses, because we have our organs in our wrist, and when we touch it, we feel the pulses, which is the way that your organ is beating with the tongue. So we check if what coat, what color, does it shake, is it thin, is it thick, is it wet, is it dry? That and the pulses plus your symptoms, it helps us come with a proper diagnosis. So tonsillitis, it could be just heat in your intestine, in your large intestine, it could be in your heart. Every patient is different. So when we look at it, okay, so it's heat. So I'll go with the needles and release the heat. And so with natural herbs also that will help it. Very different. It's a very different that, acupuncture is not just for pain, like most people have it. It's anything. Anything.
That was my question. Now, we were just talking a second ago, and I was like, what does it not treat? Because you have some amazing stories. So,
I cannot say that it's a miracle medicine, but it does just the idea that it's working with your own energy, with your own body. We also, treat with homeopathic remedies, which is come from the plant, and we, it's from the origin of the plant, and it's a couple of drops, it just cures your whole body just by the energy of the plant that gets adjust to your molecules in your cell. So it's very
so cool. All right, so I did want to share a little story, and then I know you have a couple other really neat ones, so maybe we'll share a little bit of that. But I had mentioned that as of Friday, I was very foreign to acupuncture, and anything with needles just scares me. So it's not something that I'm even going to investigate unless I absolutely have to. So for the last 6-7 months now, actually, so this happened like early December, I had an injury for not warming up, not stretching before working out. So you guys, very important. But long story short, I had pulled something, and it was, at first you think, okay, let me just rest it, let me put ice on it, let me, do this and let it be, and it'll get better. And so a month went by, 2 months, now, 6-7 months had gone by, and it was something that was really aggravating me. And it was starting to slowly kind of progress to the point that it was becoming a little challenging at times for me to, go up the stairs, go down the stairs. And so, long story short, I remembered a presentation that Dr. Diaz did with the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, and I was just at your open house and decided to learn more and give it a try. So I met with you on Friday and went through a treatment. The needles do not hurt. Not hurt.
Because they're like a hair thin.
Yeah, I was shocked by that because I was holding my breath the whole time, and you're like breathing. I was like, it's gonna hurt, but it does not hurt, like not even a pinch. So it was really, that's amazing. But had one session of acupuncture, maybe like, I don't know, was it 30 minutes or something?
30 to 45 minutes, and then the cupping.
And then we did cupping. And it was, I walked out of here just in amazement, the mobility that I gained just from that time was huge. Not only that, but the next day I texted Dr. Diaz because I decided to go jogging, and it was a whole different experience because I no longer felt that pain from the pressure of putting pressure on that knee. So anyway, long story short, definitely worth a try for all of our Hispanic Chamber of Commerce members out there. She's amazing. You all know her.
Thank you.
So definitely come in and visit her and let your family and friends know, because there's nothing better than having your own body do the work, right? So any other recent stories that you want to share?
Oh my God, I have so many stories, but even if you're not having any pain or you're not suffering from any chronic diseases or anything like that, just for maintenance, just for because by doing the needle, just coming in here, you relax and you're like disconnected from our stress, anxiety. So it automatically helps with your heart. It helps with everything else, because you're in that state, in that mode of peace and harmony.
Yes, and I think for me, the biggest understanding that I walked away was, so the environment obviously plays a big role in, the illnesses that we'll get throughout our lifetime, right? But I think that, as we were talking, I kind of walked away feeling like, a lot of the root of a lot of our diseases are some of our main organs. And what we feel afterwards, or what happens, the symptoms are kind of linked to that point zero.
Well, yeah, that's why I said treating to the root. So it's treating the physical, the spiritual, and the mind, right? So the questions I ask, I want to know where you're coming from. What's your way of thinking? How you express? So that will tell me where you're coming from in your past. What happened to you in your past? You're not telling me. You don't have to, but I can sense it, and it's going over there and healing the area that it's hurting. Even you don't even know it's hurting, and you don't know it's running you, but it is interiorly. So every organ has an emotion. So let's say the liver, it deals a lot with the anger and the irritability. So when you're like that, let's say, so when you come in here because you're irritable and you're upset or whatever, so that's the first thing I do is okay, so what's going on with the liver? Where? And then by talking to you, I get to see where your anger, your resentment came from, and heal it. Heal it with just by talking and just allowing you to express and be who you are.
All right, so Dr. Diaz is already getting patients, and so we're gonna say goodbye. But guys, check her out, call her. I'll post her phone number and your website so people can make an appointment.
And there are testimonials too on my website,
Yes,
so if you want to
so
read it.
we'll post all of that.